what I learned could be summed up really very briefly by saying that addiction is not a choice that anybody makes, it's not a moral failure, it's not an ethical lapse, it's not a weakness of character, it's not a failure of will, which is how our society depicts addiction, nor is it an inherited brain disease, which is how the medical tendency is to see it. What it actually is, it's a response to human suffering. And all these people that I worked with had been severely traumatized as children. All the women had been sexually abused, all the men had been traumatized, some of them sexually, physically, emotionally neglected. And not only is that my perspective, it's also what the scientific and research literature shows. So addiction then is actually, rather than being a disease as such or a human choice, it actually is, it's an attempt to escape suffering temporarily.
Today, I'm going to talk about a very powerful spirit. I've made many videos about this spirit, but I've never gotten personal to give an understanding of who this spirit is and what this spirit represents. This spirit is none other than Marinette, also known as Sola. Marinette represents our triumph over sin. Marinette also represents our fall into sin, our participation in sin. When Marinette comes into our life, it's usually at a crossroad. The crossroad is between life and death. The choices we make in life can either put us in a path of happiness, or it can bring us to a path of woe. When you are on the right side of the field, you see things work out for you. Your life progresses. But when you're on the left side of the field, you see that you lose everything. It can even be those that mean dear to you. This chastisement is a calling to change your life. It is a chastisement to change the way you are living. I have to be very graphic now. If you're dealing with drug addiction, if you're dealing with pain, suffering, Marinette understands. Because when you see the image which is utilized to represent Marinette, it is the image of Sola burning in a purgatory, heartbreak, suicide, all manner of sin that one can think of. The image represents the atonement for those sins, the pain, what some would call karma. Salfet Siliouet. What you do is what you see. The consequences of your actions. When you live a reckless life, you're going to have to pay for that. In some form, you're going to have to pay for it dearly. If you are a drunkard, you find that you may lose a kidney, have to go to the dialysis. If you are a meth addict, if you are a heroin addict, you'll see that life will bring you into very strange places. All the things you loved, you will lose. The people that you used to be around that cared for you, you will begin to see they step away and leave you to yourself. The loneliness. This is why they say Anima Sola means lonely soul. Everyone will abandon you. In this place of sorrow is when you have to reflect on everything you've done. Some people overcome this by changing their life. When Marinette steps into your life, it is there to tell you that you have to change. You only get one chance to make it right. If you have been struck with cancer, those who beat cancer are usually those who change your life around. And those who have beat cancer and the cancer came back is usually because they went back to doing the things that they were doing prior. You only get one chance with Marinette. One chance. If you overdosed on drugs and you don't make a change, and that's not a wake-up call for you, the next time there's not going to be a second chance. This is the harsh reality. And many would say, as they watch this video, why are you talking about drugs so much? Because in this world, in the world of America, see, if you want to talk about Haiti, the experience of Marinette's manifestation in Haiti, it's limited. The temptation becomes greater when you're living in America. There's every form of addiction. There's every form of tantalizing pleasure to tempt you into unrighteousness. Everything's there to defile you. There's pills. There's a whole bunch of things that can destroy you. The test becomes greater depending on where you are. Most people focus on the magie aspect of asking or petitioning this saint to intervene on their behalf. But in the intervention, we learn a lot. Because she's very tough. And how she brings to us what we desire is rigorous. Many people say they don't want to deal with her because she's very tough. Well, that's what comes with that force. That's what comes when life hits you like a brick wall. You can change your ways and become a better person and live a happy life. Notice, and I have to speak to those with drug problems, those who have recovered, and those who have recovered from cancer, who beat cancer. Haven't you seen your life? Haven't you gained a better perspective on life ever since you changed the way you used to live? Many of you, I bet you appreciate life more. When you realize that you are at the brink of death and you reflect back to your children, you reflect back to your family, you reflect back to your friends, you say to yourself, I don't want to lose them. And this is why many many people who have had to meet or have that intervention with Marinette, they appreciate life more. Sometimes Marinette steps into our life as Jigsaw to make us appreciate life more. When we live as though we do not care about the life we live, Marinette comes to test us. Is this true? You don't care about life? You don't? Well, listen. I'm going to put you in a situation to show you. If you want to die, here's your day to die. And when people realize everything that they're leaving behind, that's when they begin to appreciate life. This is when they begin to cry and ask God for mercy. And this is why you see a lady in a purgatory raising her hand to be recognized by those above. If anything, Marinette is here to make you appreciate life, make you respect life. There's a lot of us who do not respect the life that we have. It is until we are put in painful situations that we begin to appreciate life. I remember once when I was younger, I went out and I got mugged in New York City. This was before spiritual practice, before any of that, just living a reckless life, not caring. After that incident, when I got home, I was so appreciative to see my family, to see my friends, to know that I was alive. Sometimes that harsh reality is what we need to become the person that we need to be. Sometimes depravity is a good thing. To be deprived of all those things we take for granted is a good thing, because it helps us to appreciate the small things. If you're living a reckless life today, I want you to count your blessings. Because if you're living a reckless life today, eventually you're going to come to the crossroads. You're going to come to the realization that you have to make a decision. It's too late at times. It's too late. Some people, they don't care. If you're dealing with addiction, I have to say this, and I keep on bringing this up, because the children of Marinette usually are plagued with this infliction. So today I want to speak to those that are in pain. If you're trying to make it out, the greatest thing for Marinette is her heart. What do you love the most is what will make you change. Marinette's heart is great. She will be willing to sacrifice anything for her heart. If you're questioning, how do I get out of this? What do you love the most? Because if you do not have anything you love, or you can't realize it, you're going to find yourself in a place of no return. If you want to recover, if you want to live, if you suffered from the affliction of cancer or anything life-threatening, you have to change your lifestyle, the way you eat, the way you do things, the way you deal with people, the way you interact with people. Because those that usually have those afflictions are those who took life for granted. Sometimes people can be very harsh. Some people can do things that they're not even aware of. So sometimes we have to look at everything we do. We have to pay attention to everything we do, the infractions. There's a lot of things we do that we're not aware of that can contribute to our downfall or our demise. If you want to change, you have to substitute your pleasure in the filth for something clean. The same passion that you have to direct it elsewhere. The desire to experience this moment of euphoria has to be substituted with something else positive and constructive that will give you that euphoria. So with that said, I conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.